What was and who was really on top of this? Kayo ho ba? Because during the press conference of the president, it was you and the president.
Yes.
So ikaw ho ba nagplano ng lahat ng ito?
Hindi naman, hindi naman. It was a group effort. Secretary Chidoro was there, Secretary Anyo was there too, and the president and I. So hindi naman ako. Ako lang ang natira.
I stand by that, ma'am.
Last man standing doon sa Malacanang.
I stand by that.
Kasi Secretary Chidoro was working out of his office.
Napakaliwanag po nung sinabi
Yes,
ninyo. Wala
Secretary
namang
Anyo,
mapakiyaw-kiyaw doon sa
Yes, ma'am.
sinabi.
Yes, ma'am.
Patayin na muna natin. Pakaliwanag naman ang sabi ninyo, hindi ako mag-isa kahit ako ang kasama ng presidente nung nagsalita
Yes,
sa press con, hindi ako mag-isa ang nagplano. Isang grupo kami. Tapos pinangalanan mo.
No, ma'am.
Sinabi ninyo
I state, ma'am, again, executive privilege. But, ma'am,
walang executive privilege kasi binunyag na ninyo sa TV.
I must state it very clear.
Nagsalita po ang ating mahal na Secretary John Vic na ang nagplano po rito, o yung pagkaintindi namin, ang nagplano ay kayo.
I would like
Secretary
to answer that,
Anyo, Secretary Gibo Chodoro, at ang pinangalan, ang Chief PNP, General Marbil. Parang apat yung pinangalanan sa isang interview ng ating Secretary ng DILG.
Can I answer that, ma'am?
Yes, please, you're recognized.
The question was, who planned this? I did not state in any way who planned it. The meeting was of executive privilege. It is a conversation between the president and the ones I mentioned. There were...
So what exactly did you say? Ano sinabi po ninyo? Ang pagkaintindi namin, itong apat na pinangalanan, ang siyang nagplano.
Ma'am, we're already invoking executive privilege in this matter.
Yes.
We're invoking executive privilege in this
Yes,
matter.
that's fine, but it's in the interview, and it's
Yes, ma'am. It goes as far as the interview, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'd like to understand. I think your brother was trying to
did not
explain
state in any
what he
way.
said in the interview, and I'm happy
They
to
asked
hear
me
it.
if I planned it. I said it was not me. There were other people in the room, but we did not discuss any plans of any arrest.
Saan nanggaling yung mga pangalan na ito?
Ma'am, that again is executive privilege. Ma'am, let me explain, ma'am. Let me explain
sa
first, ma'am.
interview po eh.
Yes, yes,
Ang
ma'am.
liwanag
Let me explain first, ma'am. We were discussing rumors of an impending arrival based
Parang hindi yung ganun ang dating sa amin eh. Ang pagkaintindi
that is
namin,
the whole
apat
truth,
na plano.
ma'am. That is we were discussing rumors. Go ahead, ma'am.
Patugtog na lang natin para maintindihan ha.
What was and who was really on top of this? Kayo ho ba? Because during the press conference of the president, it was you and the president.
Yes.
So ikaw ho ba nagplano ng lahat ng ito?
Hindi naman, hindi naman. It was a group effort. Secretary Chidoro was there, Secretary Anyo was there too, and the president and I. So hindi naman ako. Ako lang ang
I
natira.
stand by that, ma'am.
Last man standing doon sa Malacanang.
I stand by that.
Kasi Secretary Chidoro was working out of his office.
Napakaliwanag po nung sinabi
Yes, ma'am.
ninyo. Wala
Secretary
namang
Anyo, of
mapakiyaw-kiyaw
course,
doon
is
sa
Yes, ma'am.
sinabi.
Yes, ma'am.
Patayin na muna natin. Pakaliwanag naman ang sabi ninyo, hindi ako mag-isa kahit ako ang kasama ng presidente nung nagsalita
Yes, ma'am.
sa press con, hindi ako mag-isa ang nagplano. Isang grupo kami. Tapos pinangalanan mo.
No, ma'am.
Sinabi ninyo eh.
I state, ma'am, again, executive privilege. But, ma'am,
Walang executive privilege kasi binunyag na
I
ninyo sa
must
TV.
state it very clear, as I stated very clear, that there was no mastermind. We were discussing mainly about what the president's statements were in Hong Kong, and it was based all on that statement, ma'am.
Sinabi ninyo na hindi kayo mag-isa na nagplano, kundi isang
There was no
grupo.
planning, ma'am.
Pero yun ang sabi eh.
I said, hindi ako nagplano. Marami
May
kaming-
isang grupo na nagplano.
We were all talking about a rumor, ma'am, and that was all.
Rumor lang yon.
Yes, ma'am.
Group effort ang sabi mo eh. Ang tanong niya kung ikaw ang nagplano, tapos sabi mo,
There was no
hindi,
planning,
group
ma'am.
effort.
There was no planning, ma'am.
Anong
Earlier,
in-effort ng group
ma'am,
kapag hindi
let
plano?
me make
I think that we're intruding into executive privilege already, ma'am. I think that we please
No,
respect
I'm just
our...
asking him to explain the media.
Yes, ma'am. But
Just
it's already a very thin dividing line between what transpires in a room between
I will-
cabinet members
I will-
and a media statement. But there's a very thin dividing line, ma'am.
Understood.
I hope that we can respect executive privilege.
Understood, and the Senate and the Secretary Chodoro is fully aware. Every time there's a need to recess to executive session, I'm happy to do so, and I will do so when necessary. Pero ngayon, sinabi kasi sa TV, paliwanag naman ninyo sa atin kung ano ibig sabihin. Kasi ang sinabi, hindi ako mag-isa na nagplano, may grupo kami.
They asked me if I had planned it. Sabi ko, I did not. I did not plan it. I said we were there. And not to skirt, ma'am, executive privilege, it was mainly because of the statements of the former president in Hong Kong that he said, in his words, ma'am, in Hong Kong, that, I think you have a clip, he said that, ang reading ko ay may ICC warrant of arrest na. That was the best of my recollection, ma'am.
So anong pinag-group effortan? Anong
To discuss the rumor, ma'am.
grupo na
That, again, ma'am,
pinangalanan nyo?
as far as I will invoke in executive privilege, there was you cannot plan on a rumor, ma'am.
Kaya nagtataka
So,
ako,
again,
bakit
ma'am,
group effort? Chismis lang naman yun.
Chismis nga. Ayun
Yun na nga,
yun.
kung chismis, bakit mag-group effort pa? Tapos pinangalanan mo
Ma'am,
pa lahat na
maraming
nagpag-group
marites sa
effort.
mundo to, ma'am.
Dabis naman yung marites, dami-daming
It
marites
was a
sa amin.
discussion of a rumor based on the statement of the president in Hong Kong.
Nakakatuwa lang dahil chismis lang pala eh. Bakit sesentensyahan yung tao sa base ng chismis?
It was a discussion of a rumor based on the statement of the president in Hong Kong.
So you deny that you're part and parcel of the planning and that the other persons you named, hindi rin sila kasali dun sa pagpaplano?
Again, ma'am, we were discussing the statement of the former president while he was in Hong Kong that he said that he said, in his words, ang reading ko ay may warrant of arrest na ako. So that was the only basis of the conversation, ma'am.
So ito yung group effort ninyo.
Yes,
Pinagtulong-tulungan ninyo yung isang bahagyang chismis.
It was, ma'am, all of that is, again, the statement of the former president, not ours.
Okay, so walang kinalaman to. Pero para lamang sa kaprasong chismis, magtitipon-tipon pa yung mga sekretary ng gabinete. Nakakatuwa naman.
Call it what you may, ma'am.
Walang magawa. Opo. Anyway, nabanggit na paulit-ulit itong Interpol, ano? At nabanggit na ng SOJ. At alam naman natin.
Ma'am,
Yes
if
po.
I may, since
Yes, Secretary
our name
Chodoro,
was,
please. O kasi kasali kayo eh.
alluded to, the Department of National Defense and the Armed Forces of the Philippines has no law enforcement mandate. Our sole mandate is to give support to the Philippine National Police when it is asked for. And therefore, such ends our jurisdiction. The operation is clearly a law enforcement one, and the Philippine National Police has the power to ask the armed forces to assist. And that is the extent of the participation of my department and the armed forces of the Philippines. And all other matters in supporting the Philippine National Police are covered by operational security.
Tama po. Kaya hindi talaga chismis lang to. Meron talagang natanggap. At sinabi rin sa isang interview, alas 3 ng umaga, natanggap na yung notice of arrest nung Martes, March 11. Sinabi naman ni Secretary Remulla na si PNP General Marbil nakatanggap ng notice of arrest warrant alas 3 ng umaga ng Martes at sinabihan ang Pangulo ng alas 6. Nabasa niya ng sa alas 6 ng umaga.
I
So
stand by
ibig
that,
sabihin, hindi po chismis to. Meron ng notice of arrest warrant.
You're
Totoo na
talking
siya.
about 2 different days, ma'am.
Okay.
March 10.
Sige, clarify
was-
po ninyo para
March 10
maintindihan namin.
was conjecture.
March 10,
was
chismis pa lang
conjecture.
yon.
Yes, ma'am.
Dala nung salita galing sa Hong Kong.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
March
Tapos,
11 was a formalized transmission
Okay.
by the ICC towards Interpol. And that was the first knowledge that this administration had of the presence of a action by the ICC directed towards Interpol. And that was the only formal knowledge that we had.
So, andun lang. So, ang ibig sabihin, ang gobyerno hindi tumulong sa ICC sa application ng warrant, nagulat kayo na dumating na lang yung dokumento?
Yes, ma'am.
Wala kayong kaalam-alam or paghihingi?
None whatsoever, ma'am.
None whatsoever. Ganon din yung SOJ, pati yung SND. Wala kayong balita, wala kayong hinikayat, wala kayong pakikiusap na ilabas na yan sa lalong madaling panahon.
Wala po ako rito noon eh. Nasa Vienna po ako. Ma-attend po ako ng United Nations meeting sa Drugs and Crime, UNODC.
Yung March 10 o yung 11 po?
Parehong araw po, wala po ako rito. Ngunit nakikipag-usap ako sa telepono na tinatanong ko yung nangyayari dito sapagkat ang Department of Justice ay involved syempre sa bawat proseso. At kinakausap ko po yung mga pwede kong kausapin tungkol dito.
Okay, so wala kayo dito pero kayo nag-anunsyo at lumabas sa balita na alas 3 ng umaga pa lang na Martes andyan na yung notice of warrant.
It was me, ma'am. It was
Ikaw
me.
ba? Ibang
It was
Remulla
me.
yun? Baka na-confuse
It was me who
pati
confirmed,
media.
ma'am.
Po.
It was me who confirmed during the press conference of March on Tuesday, March 11, I think, that when the president asked me on when the notice of diffusion arrived, and I stated it was 3 a.m.
Salamat. Okay, si General Marbil, may idadagdag po kayo. Kayo daw ang nakatanggap eh.
Mama, natanggap ko po yun ay more or less after ng 3 o'clock. So usually ito po talaga ginagawa namin. Pagka meron pong request ang PCTC Interpol, we act po dun sa kanila po. Kung ano po yung request ng PCTC Interpol.
Maraming salamat, General Marbil. At Interpol ang binabanggit na natin ngayon. So yung Interpol, ang Pilipinas ay isa sa founding member. Isa tayo sa nanguna sa pagtatatag ng Interpol noong 1952. Interpol's purpose is to facilitate cooperation and assist member nations. So crime information, sharing, investigative support, specialized training, transnational crimes in particular are the focus of this agency. And this comprise terrorism, cybercrime, organized crime, financial crime, and anti-corruption. And to ensure that it is not used for persecution, in its constitution, the Interpol has Article 3, providing that it's strictly forbidden for the organization to undertake any intervention or activities of a political, military, religious or racial character. So maliwanag yan sa Interpol, hindi sila manghihimasok sa politika at sa domestic affairs ng isang bansa. Ngayon, eto na yung press con ng ating Pangulo noong March 11 ng 2025 at sinabi niya, andito yata yan, it's a request of the Philippine government from Interpol. And to enforce the arrest warrant, and of course we comply with our commitments to Interpol. We did not do this because it was derived or it came from ICC, but rather from Interpol. Because they asked us, we have commitments to them, we live up to those commitments. I don't think we violated the country's sovereignty. Bakit naman? Dahil consistent naman tayo, hindi tayo tumutulong sa investigasyon ng ICC, wala tayong meron contact, pero not on an official level. We did not help them in any way. The arrest we did today was in compliance, ayan, mabasa ninyo, was in compliance with the commitment to Interpol at hindi yung ICC. Hindi natin kinakausap ang ICC, marami silang hinihingi sa atin ng mga dokumento, wala kaming binibigay. Yun lamang, hindi natin mahindian ang Interpol. So kung may duda sa ating pakikibahagi sa ICC, ang sinasabi ng Pangulo, ang ating commitment, obligasyon sa Interpol ay maliwanag at walang duda. So, ang sinasabi natin, kailan ba natanggap ng gobyerno na yung ICC naglabas na ng warrant of arrest laban kay Presidente PRRD?
At alas 3 nga ng umaga. Yun ang pagkakaalam kong yun.
So, hindi...
March 11.
No inkling before, may marites lang.
Marites lang po. Marami hong... ilang taon na po yung sinasabi na may lalabas na warrant of arrest. Ngunit ngayon lang ho talaga lumabas, March 11, alas 3 ng umaga.
So hanggang sa March 11 ng alas 3, na tulad ng sinabi ni General Marbil, natanggap ninyo nung umaga, ay wala kayo ka-idea
The only information we got was the words of the former president in Hong Kong.
Sa Hong Kong.
Sa Hong Kong, ma'am.
Na andyan na.
Yes, ma'am.
Siya pang nauna, hindi kayo.
Yes, ma'am.
Nakakatuwa, ano? Anyway, hindi ba March 8 pa lamang, marami na ring chismis na magkakaroon ng arrest warrant. In fact, the following day, mismo yung palasyo, Malacanang, sinabi na may mga haka-haka na ganun nga lalabas na, and the government is prepared for any eventuality. Bakit nasabi yun kung wala pang hawak na notice or kopya? March 8 pa lang to, nagsalita na yung Malacanang. Ibig sabihin, andun na.
Ma'am, the government is prepared for any eventuality at all times. That is the nature of our job. We will always be prepared. We will always be on hand to enforce any of these laws, ma'am.
So it does not mean na yung executive o yung palasyo may nalalaman tungkol sa warrant
Ma'am,
of arrest.
no one knew, ma'am.
Walang may
Again,
alam.
I repeat, ma'am,
as of March
categorically, no one knew until 3 o'clock of March 11.
3 a.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Sa umaga. Nung March 9, ang ating USEC sa PCO sabi, if Interpol hihingi ng assistance galing sa gobyerno, tutulungan. So why was Interpol already being mentioned and being bandied about as early as March 8, March 9, kahit wala pang notice, wala pang red notice, wala miski ano?
Ma'am, maybe in context, sabi ko nga, marami ho naging pagkakataon na tumulong po Interpol sa atin, kaya hindi natin nalilimutan. Isang example po dyan ay yung paghuli po kay Alice Go sa Indonesia, at marami pa ho mga ibang pagkakataon na tumulong po Interpol sa atin.
Ba't alam na ng palasyo that Interpol will be involved if at that time there was no confirmation or receipt of any warrant? Bakit nagsasalita na ang palasyo, nagsasalita na yung PCO, sinasabi na huwag kayo mag-alala, handa tayo sa anumang mangyari? Bakit nagre-reassure na ang palasyo?
Ano ho kasi yan?
Parang pinapanatas
ang mekanismo po kasi ng International Tribunal, katulad po ng ICC, ay lumapit po sa Interpol upang ipamahagi o upang iserve ang warrant kasi wala po sila sariling kapulisan ang ICC.
So,
kaya
alam na
umaasa
ninyo,
rin po sila sa Interpol.
Tama. So, ang executive, alam na ninyo na ang Interpol ang gagamitin. Hindi sa wala tayong
Ano ho
alam.
yun eh? Logical lang po yun. It's logic that Interpol will be the one used as they were the ones used in the past already.
Alam naman natin na gagamitin ng Interpol, pero hindi naman laging Interpol ang ginagamit ng ICC.
Hindi ko po alam yung iba.
Paano natin
Ang
alam?
alam ko lang ho, Interpol talaga.
Ang alam natin, iba-iba, di ba, sa history ng ICC. Kaya nagtataka ako, ba't ang aga-aga, March 8, alam na natin Interpol ang magbibigay ng warrant.
Marahil ho kasi ang Interpol may opisina rin po sila sa sa Paris tsaka sa Hague. Kaya nag-uusap-usap po lahat 'yan. Yung Eurojust, Europol, ICC, ICJ, isang lugar lang po 'yan sa The Hague.
Po, alam natin, pero iba-ibang pamamaraan ang ginagamit ng ICC para hulihin, dakipin, at mag-serve ng warrant. So, ang sinasabi natin, siguro sina General Marbil, pagkat sila naman ang nakatanggap nito, walang contact or coordination sa ICC or Interpol bago March 11. Bago March 11, yung alas 3 ng umaga, na sinasabi po ninyo, talagang wala kayong ka-idea, walang notice, walang timbre, walang tawag, walang kaalam-alam ang Pilipinas tungkol dito.
Ma'am, can I answer that, ma'am?
Si General Marbil ang tinatanong po.
Okay, ma'am.
Pwede kayo magdagdag, mamaya.
Ma'am, wala po kaming communication with the ICC except for the PCTs lang po. We rely on the Philippine Center for Transnational Crime.
Teka, so kauna-unahang pagkaalam mo tungkol dito sa warrant mula sa Interpol, nung Marso 11, ika-11 ng Marso, tama ba?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Sigurado kayo, ha?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Oo, okay. So, but you just said na it doesn't go to you directly. Sabi mo, dumadaan muna sa transnational crime. Pwede ba natin tanungin ang ating head ng transnational crime? Andito po si Executive Director Alcantara. Kayo ba ang una nakatanggap nitong galing sa Interpol?
Magandang umaga po, Madam Chair. Tama po yun. Ang NCB Manila ang tumanggap po at 3 o'clock in the morning nung diffusion na sinasabi na may warrant of arrest na po ang ating dating Pangulo at yun po ang ginamit namin, pinan-out namin.
Tapos pinadala ninyo kaagad sa kapulisan?
Law enforcement agencies po ang mga pinadala natin, ang National Bureau of Investigation, ang Philippine National Police, ang Bureau of Immigration at pinadalang ko rin po ang Department of Justice.
Okay. Maraming salamat. At may dadagdag yata si Secretary John Vic.
Wala na, ma'am. Wala na, ma'am.
Okay. At was a red notice, itong tinatawag na red notice, iyon ba ang pinadala ng Interpol, Executive Director Alcantara? Kasi ang binanggit mo ngayon, diffusion.
Ang dumating
kasi,
po sa atin ay isang diffusion, isang commonly tinatawag na red diffusion.
Eka, ang pagkaalam ko, iba ang notice at iba ang diffusion. Iklaro po ninyo, alin na natanggap?
Ipapaliwanag ko po. Ang red notice po ay a request for international police cooperation that has been applied for by a member country or entity that are distributed to every member of the organization.
Opo, alam natin yon.
Okay
Pero
po.
ang sabi kanina, red notice ang natanggap. Ngayon ang sinasabi mo, hindi red notice kundi diffusion lamang.
Tama po.
Alin ba talaga?
Diffusion po.
Walang red notice.
Nagkakaroon po ang general public or everybody ng
Pero alam natin
confusion.
na hindi magkapareho yun.
It's equivalent po to a red notice.
Hindi po.
Ang red,
Mas alam ninyo ito sa akin.
Opo,
Ang
opo.
diffusion po hindi red notice.
Hindi
Tignan
po,
lang
hindi
natin
po,
ang
hindi nga po.
website.
Ang diffusion po is a request for international police cooperation that is coming from an entity or another member country that is directed to another member country or
Tama,
several
oo.
countries. Yun po ang pagkakaiba.
Sa member to member,
Opo.
it's an unverified report requesting for information. Humihingi lang, makikipakilang sa kapwa member na kung maaari, tulungan ninyo kami. Pero hindi siya verified, hindi siya dumadaan sa kanilang commissioner, hindi siya pinopost sa website katulad ng red notice.
But
Tama po ba?
It went through the police of the organization's police database. Pumasok din po yon sa database.
Pumasok sa database for unverified. Maliwanag siya, di ba?
Papaliwanag po na...
So, hindi po red notice ang natanggap, tama?
Diffusion po. Red
Diffusion.
And more technical po, it's a wanted person diffusion.
Tama.
More technical.
So, walang red notice. Kapag walang pag-diffusion lang, ang pagkaintindi natin, humingi lang ng impormasyon, di ba?
Hindi po. Meron po tinatawag na red diffusion, blue diffusion.
Oo, maraming kulay yun eh.
Yung sinasabi po niyo na humihingi lang ng impormasyon is blue diffusion.
Okay, may kulay ba ito? Yung pinadala sa atin, anong kulay ng diffusion?
Ito po ay wanted person diffusion.
So, walang red notice.
Hindi po siya red notice.
Nakatanggap pa tayo ng red notice at any point?
Itong pong wanted person diffusion na to, pagpasok po sa Interpol sa Leon, pa-process po ng notices and diffusion.
Opo, alam po natin yon. Alam natin yung procedure.
Ang kasunod
Madalas
po nun,
na natin ginawa yan eh.
Kasunod po nun, mag-i-issue sila ng red notice. But this
Teka.
time, dahil po may urgency, they decided na it will go through by
So lumundag na
diffusion.
tayo mula sa diffusion, hindi man lang na-confirm, hindi man lang napagtibayan, hindi man lang nadaan sa commissioner nila, hindi man lang nailagay sa website o naging opisyal, lumundag na po tayo. Sa diffusion pa lang yan mo. Hindi, kasi inaamin ninyo, wala namang red notice kailanman.
It is our job to find it out immediately, disseminate immediately, because the nature of the diffusion is...
Bakit si Congressman Arnie Teves may red notice na, hindi pa natin nagagawa ng paraan?
Hindi ko po masagot.
Ma'am, yung kay Arnie Teves, kaya ho siya nahuli sa East Timor ay dahil sa red notice.
Okay.
Yun ang dahilan.
Oo, klaro po yun, yung red notice. Kaya nga, ang pagkaintindi namin, red notice din ang sinasabi. Ngayon, lumalabas na wala kailanman na lumabas na red notice mula sa Interpol, kundi diffusion lamang.
Baka dahil sa panahon, kasi mabilis po ang pagganap ng lahat, yung mga pangyayari. Mabilis po nangyayari. Kaya marahil, sa ordinaryong pagkakataon, nandyan po ang red notice. Dito, wala akong pagkakataon marahil.
Madam Chair, gusto
So,
ko...
ibig sabihin, ang katotohanan, walang red notice. Mag-ingat po kayo, you're under oath, makukontempt po tayo. Dahil pagbibigyan natin, kasi sabi, red notice, yung pala, hindi red notice, nasa diffusion na po. There was no red notice and what was issued was merely a diffusion. Pakita po natin, may pagkakaiba yan, matindi. So, itong diffusion, hindi yan pinagtitibay ng Interpol Secretariat. Hindi dumaan sa Commissioner. Tama po ba?
Meron pong disclaimer to say that it did not go to a review of the notices and task force diffusion. So, may disclaimer. Pero,
nag-mobilize ang pamahalaan ng libo-libo, 7,000 ang pinagmalaki na kapulisan para sa isang request for information ng Interpol na unverified. Pinahihingi lang. Walang sinasabing nagmamadali. Pero lahat ng government resources pinaandar na dahil sa simpleng request sa kapwa membro. Tama po?
ang iko-correct ko po ay hindi information ang hinihingi po. It is a wanted person notice, diffusion notice. Diffusion. Hindi
Diffusion notice.
Wanted person po ang nandoon.
Okay, pakita natin. Medyo maliit ang letra, pero basahin natin. Pwede bang palakihin para mabasa na maigi pa? Okay. So, maliwanag, tama po na dumating ng 3:04 ba to?
Correct po. Tama.
Ng umaga, Arian. Ang liwanag. Tapos, ang request dito, after prior consultation with the government of the Philippines. So, hindi totoo na March 11, 3 a.m. lang ninyo nalaman. Kasi nakasabi dito sa page 1, after prior consultation with the government of the Philippines who have agreed to comply with this request. Ibig sabihin, ang pamahalaan ay nakausap na, una, ikalawa, sumang-ayon na. So, ibig sabihin, ito formal transmittal lang. Walang sinasabi dito na biglaan ito. Kaya nga, March 10 pa lang, 7,000 ang pulis na ang minobilize eh. Bakit sinasabing ganito?
Yung sinasabi po nyo na...
Hindi, binabasa ko lang ito eh.
Opo. Ang matatanong po natin dyan ay yung nagpadala po yung nag-apply po, ICC. Sila po naglagay niyan eh. Hindi po tayo.
Ibig ko nagsisinungaling ang Interpol?
Hindi po Interpol ang nagsisinungaling. Yung gumawa
pero
po,
ang Interpol ang sinasabi ninyo eh. Sabi nila dito eh, itong diffusion ng Interpol, pagkatapos ng konsultahan sa pamahalaan. Tapos sinasabi pa rito na hugas kamay ang Interpol at hindi pa sila gumagawa ng compliance review. Hindi pa nila naimbestigahan, hindi pa nila napapatunayan itong diffusion. At kung may duda, sabihan na lang sila kasi hindi pa daw nila naaasikaso.
Yan yung sinusunod nilang format, ma'am. Hindi ho lahat na sinasabi dyan ay gano'n na lang po ang katotohanan kasi nag-iingat lang po sila na makatabig sila na mali. Kaya marami ho silang paniguradong mga salita sa kanilang form letter. Form letter po yan eh.
Sasabihin nila na
Kagaya ho niya, nung sinabi na
meron silang
pagkatapos
konsultasyon,
makipag-ugnay sa gobyerno ng Republika ng Pilipinas, ang palaisipan ko po, sino ang kausap dito? Dahil hindi naman po kami ang kausap.
Sinasabi ninyo, palusot lang to, hindi to totoo?
Hindi po, yung form
tayo
letter.
maniniwala sa Interpol
Yun
nito?
po yung kanilang form letter. Kaya, hindi ko alam talaga kung sinong kausap. Pero may sinasabi po dyan na meron silang kausap. Pero ako, wala akong kaalaman.
Baka alam ng kapulisan, sino ho ang kausap? Baka alam ni Secretary Anyo. Ang liwa-liwanag dito, hindi naman ako nagchichismis o naghahaka-haka. Ang liwanag eh. Nakausap na daw yung gobyerno at sumang-ayon na daw ang gobyerno na arestuhin. Paano ba to? At ito daw ay formal transmittal lamang. Ibig sabihin, nauna yun. Andyan yan, liwanag oh. Anybody wish to comment? Secretary Anyo, please. General Marbil. Bakit may prior consultation and assent? Bakit sumang-ayon ng mas maaga?
Well, Madam Chair, I'm not aware of any coordination of that, and I only learned of this diffusion and the warrant of arrest in the morning of March 11. So, yun lang.
So lahat kayo, March 11, 3 a.m. O 3:04. Ito yata dito. Tama naman yun. Pero, Executive Director Alcantara,
Opo.
form letter ba to? Medyo specific to prior consultations with the government of the Philippines. Hindi siya form letter
I cannot
Nakakita na rin
confirm
kami.
or deny,
Nakakita
but,
na rin kami ng ganito.
it looks like a form letter.
Form letter?
It
Who have
looks
agreed
like-
to comply?
Oo.
Okay.
It's a genuine letter from the Interpol that came from the
Oo,
Interpol
tama.
system.
Verified naman to.
Opo.
Kaso nga lang, unang-una, diffusion lang siya. No such thing as red notice was ever received.
Ma'am,
Sabi mo, dahil sa kailangan i-expedite. Ikalawa, tinatanggi ninyo na merong prior consultation dito at saka acquiescence or agreement.
Hindi ko po masagot yung prior consultation. Ang masasagot
Wala,
ko po.
nandito lang.
Oh.
Ba't nila isusulat yan kung dito to, Okay, basahin pa rin natin. Andito tayo, no? Ayan, si Senator Cayetano, maraming nakikita yata Tapos sa page 2, no? Gusto ko lang matignan to, no? Kasi ang liwanag po nito Ang sabi dito, basahin po natin yung page 2, ano? Ayan. The ICC has been mandated to investigate crimes against humanity. Pakitignan na lang po ang sumunod. Sige, itaas pa po yan. Indirect co-perpetrator. So, ibig sabihin, hindi siya principal, indirect pa.
Parang ganun po yung understanding.
Sino
diba?
yung direct? Saan na yung direct? Ba't hindi inuna? Pangkaraniwan ba to na hinuhuli muna yung indirect kaysa sa direct? Form letter rin ba to?
Iba ho kasi yung legal language na ginagamit ng iba't ibang bansa sa kanila hong pagbibigay ng communication.
Tama po. Siyempre, iba-iba yan. At saka translated to in many languages.
Opo.
Pero yung indirect, sa palagay ko, kahit Frances man yan or High German Swiss, ganyan pa rin indirect. Hindi siya principal.
Hindi
Bakit
kasi ho, ano nga yung legal system po depende ho sa kanilang pagkasulat ng kanilang mga batas. Kasi kagaya ho sa atin, conspiracy po ang tawag natin dyan, di sa ating bansa. Co-conspirator po ang tawag sa isang taong nag-participate sa isang krimen.
Ito, co-perpetrator.
Yun nga ho yun.
Pero
Marahil yun po yung definition niya ay lumalapit po sa ating definition na conspiracy sa ating bansa. So yun po yun. Marahil lagay natin sa konteksto na yun po ang kanilang lingwahe sa kanilang batas, sistema ng batas. Iba ho ang lingwahe natin dito.
Nako, kahit i-Frances yan, yung indirect, hindi direct, di po ba?
Ganun din naman sa conspiracy
Kaya nga. Kaya nga nagtataka lahat. Bakit siya unang hinuli? Bakit siya dinampot bigla? Hindi naman pala siya yung bida. Hindi naman siya yung kontrabida.
Pero sinabi ho na co-perpetrator.
Tama, pero
kasabwat. Sinabi ho diyang kasabwat.
Okay. Ngayon, tignan natin. Action to be taken. Locate and arrest with a view to extradition. Assurances are given extradition will be sought upon arrest of the person in conformity with national laws or the applicable bilateral and multilateral treaties. Ibig sabihin, hindi yung kidnapping or yung extraordinary
Hindi po kidnapping. Wala hong nangyaring kidnapping, ma'am.
Pero may extradition. Bakit
Hindi, meron ho dalawang option yan
Ang haba ng proseso.
International Humanitarian Law gives us two options.
Walang nakasulat
There are
dito.
two options under International Humanitarian Law.
I'm just
The first
talking
option is
about the
extradition.
diffusion,
No, I
Secretary.
have to explain the law, ma'am. The International Humanitarian Law gives us two options: extradition or surrender. And we chose the surrender path, ma'am, not extradition.
So despite the myriad and ironclad commitments to Interpol, hindi tayo sumunod dito sa hinihingi
Hindi ho sila familiar sa system
ang
natin eh.
hinihingi nila, extradition, hindi surrender. Di po ba? Ang liwanag eh.
Hindi, yan po
Papawag
ay
natin
kanilang
kung
sinasabi
tira ka.
kasi yan pa ang customary law sa maraming bansa na extradition.
Kanina sinabi mo,
Hindi, kaya nga eh,
customary
yun
law, yung procedural at administrative, hindi din
Hindi, pero yun nga ho eh. Hindi nila alam yung ating batas eh. Hindi ho nila alam na meron tayong Republic Act 9851 na nagsasabi pwede extradition o pwede surrender.
Teka,
Ang pinili po namin executive action po, surrender po.
Tapusin muna natin yung sentence kasi meron pang karugtong. Extradition will be sought upon arrest of the person in conformity with national laws. Susunod tayo sa 9851.
Yes, sinunod dyan, 9851.
O, sige.
And hindi extradition ang aming ginamit, kundi surrender.
Eka, meron tayong iko-konsulta, Attorney Alexis Medina, na sumulat ng iba't ibang libro tungkol sa international law at sabi niya, hindi tumbok sa extradition o surrender, hindi sila pareho. Kaya kinakailangan intindihin. Eto, na extradition, kaliwa-liwanag sa batas natin. Senator Cayetano, and thereafter we will consult Attorney Medina.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I'll ask my questions mamaya po kasi may konti akong introduction why. Just to follow your point, was there or was there not cooperation here? On page 2 din kasi nakalagay din, assurances are given that extradition will be sought upon the arrest of the person in conformity with national laws and or application bilateral and multilateral treaties. Tapos this request is treated as a formal request for provisional arrest in conformity with national laws. So, yun lang ang question ko kasi dun sa una sabi hindi sila sumulat, hindi nyo alam kung sino nag-cooperate. Of course, I'll take your answers at face value and presumption of regularity unless it's inconsistent. So, dito lang sa action taken, so dito sa page 2, sinong nagbigay ng assurances? Tapos, nung na-receive natin to na this is to be taken as a formal request. Did we take this as a formal request? I'll stop there just so that before we move to the treaty and tama ba yung surrender. I just want, factually lang. So did, to our knowledge, Secretary,
ano ho yan eh, form letter nga ho yan ng ICC.
Yeah.
In expectation po nila, walang ibang option kundi extradition. Pero hindi ho ganun ng bating batas eh. Our local law, Republic Act 1951, allows us an executive option.
Thank you.
So to your knowledge, SOJ, ma'am, para lang hindi malito ha, kasi dalawa yung Secretary Rimulya, may I call you SOJ and may I call you SILG, just so that walang confusion. So sir, so to your knowledge, yung sinasabi nilang sa kabilang page at saka sa page na to na assurances were given, to your knowledge, that wasn't from the Philippine government.
Ano ho yan eh? Ang sinasabi po nila dyan, makakasiguro kayo na hihingi namin sa extradition ang taong yan na aming ginawang wanted.
But is that Interpol so did Interpol assure that?
Kasi ano ito eh, diffusion notice is not given to, pagkaya ng red notice buong mundo ho, nakukuha yan, itong diffusion notice limited to a few countries. And then, distinction.
And then sino po ang empowered to give them assurances that we will? Or is it standard?
Sila ho, standard, kaya nga form letter po nila yan eh.
Okay.
Form letter nila yan.
But when they say that there was assurances from us, is that a general assurance because we're member of Interpol or meron nagsabi sa atin that we assure you?
They are the ones assuring us that they will seek the extradition.
Okay.
Sila po nag-assure sa atin.
Okay, gusto ko lang tapusin to, no? At sumunod kay Senator Cayetano. Yung sumunod na sentence, basahin po ninyo. The request is to be treated as a formal request for provisional arrest. Ibig sabihin, provisional, in conformity with national laws. So, ang liwanag po, hindi yun ang nangyari kasi hindi naman provisional arrest. Dinala na dun sa dahig. At saka in conformity with national laws, kapag yung Article 17 po ng RA 9851, hindi naman siya sumunod.
Ang provisional arrest po is only for extradition. Hindi po kasi extradition on route natin.
Okay, pero natapos na tayo sa extradition, pinag-usapan na ni Senator Cayetano. Ang request lang dito, provisional arrest.
Kaya nga ho eh, ginagamit po yung
Provisional
term.
pa lang?
Ginagamit po ang term na provisional arrest in conjunction with extradition. Eh hindi po extradition ang ating pinagdaanan dito.
Okay, nais kong tawagin ang ating eksperto dito, si Professor Alexis Medina, na nagpapaliwanag na yung surrender ay naiiba sa extradition at maliwanag yon sa lahat. Kaya't I'd like to recognize Attorney Alexis Medina po. You've written extensively on the distinction and application of surrender versus extradition. Ano ang nangyari kay Presidente Duterte? Surrender ba yan or extradition?
Thank you for the invitation, Honorable Madam Chair. And good afternoon, everyone, the Cabinet Secretaries and distinguished members of the executive branch. Okay. Also, Senator Cayetano, good afternoon, Senator Bongo, Senator Jingo Estrada. Going back to the question, there was the proposition that the immediate surrender of the person arrested to the jurisdiction of a foreign government, or foreign state, or international tribunal can be undertaken without judicial proceedings under 9851, Section 17. I respect the opinion of our hardworking and brilliant Secretary of Justice, but nevertheless, I respectfully disagree. Surrender without judicial proceedings might amount to a violation of the liberty of abode that is guaranteed by Section 6 of the Bill of Rights. The liberty of abode cannot be impaired without a lawful order of the court. That's the text of the Constitution. Now, this constitutional protection is a barrier for any government action that would simply compel an individual to change his residence. So to compel a person, to expel a person from his country of residence without a lawful court order, by excluding the judicial process, might amount to a violation of the liberty of abode. Now, surrender as an option under Section 17 is applicable only in very narrow situations. One is when the person to be arrested has already voluntarily surrendered to the custody of the national government, in which case that negates the necessity of the extradition process. The other option is when the person to be arrested is actually an alien, in which case there's no need to go through the extrajudicial process. It's only a deportation process which does not involve a court proceedings. So in those two instances, surrender without court proceedings would be possible. Other than those proceedings, it would be very difficult to maintain that that is sanctioned by the Constitution.
So ang sinasabi po ninyo, dalawa lang pagkakataon na pwede mag-surrender. Kung yung mismong akusado at arestado ang nagsusumite sa pamahalaan, yun, pwede yun.
Yes,
kusa niya yun.
Yes.
Ikalawa, kapag banyaga,
Yes, po.
di naman Pilipino,
Yes, po.
deport, executive action yun.
Yes, po.
Mabilis, walang kailangan na korte-korte.
Yes po.
So yun lang, wala na pong ibang exception, wala na pong ibang sitwasyon kung saan pwedeng surrender. Kasi pinagpipilitan na sinurrender, sinuko ang Pangulong Duterte ng pamahalaan sa Interpol. Yun ang pagkaintindi ko sa sinasabi kanina. Sinasabi ninyo, hindi po pwede yun. Dalawang pagkakataon lang ang po pwede isuko ang isang Pilipino. Yung isa pa nga, hindi sa Pilipino. Attorney Medina po.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I stand by my statement. There may be possibilities that surrender can happen in other situations, but certainly surrender of a person necessarily requires the lawful order of the court. And this requirement is consistent with the policy of the Constitution that whenever there's a deprivation of liberty, court intervention, judicial proceedings, judicial process is a requirement because the right to liberty is placed in an exalted status in our constitutional system. Hindi po pwedeng, the Constitution does not contemplate exclusion of the court process in depriving a person of his right to liberty.
Kung hindi pwedeng isuko ang isang Pilipino na hindi pumapayag, hindi naman voluntary, ang ibig mo sabihin, ang iba pang pagkakataon, extradition na.
Yes,
That's the only legal process to enforce surrender to the ICC. I-extradite na kapag Pilipino ka. Tama po ba?
I agree, Madam Chair. Thank you. And extradition is a judicial proceedings. Involves judicial proceedings po.
Ma'am, may I
At
respond?
maliwanag din dito, maski yung Interpol mismo, sinasaad na kinakailangan provisional arrest, extradition to be applied for in conformity with national laws. Sinasabi nga sa ating konstitusyon, sa ating Korte Suprema lamang at sa mga iba't iba pang korte. Kasama pa ba yung korte sa ICC?
If I may comment. Your Honor, can I give the context for my statements?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. My apologies. I had to answer the question directly. I was invited on the basis of a post I made online, a legal opinion on the arrest of the former president. I'd like
And also
to...
your qualifications as an international lawyer.
No, I actually am a teacher of constitutional law. I taught at San Sebastian College, Recoletos, Manila, the Polytechnic University of Manila, and the New Era University. I also give lectures for bar review examiners. Okay. Well, when I posted a legal opinion on the arrest of the president, to my surprise, it gained public traction. And my objective in posting that is really for academic discourse, not for any legal or political advocacy. I'd like to make it clear to everyone in the room, I am not here as a partisan. Okay, I am not involved in any political activity. My views that I posted are from the detached perspective of an academic.
Full disclosure po, I've never met you before.
Yeah, opo.
I've only read you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you po. And to be honest po, 2016, I did not even vote for the former president. I was counsel for Grace Poe. Okay, so Senator Grace Poe. So my view that the arrest and detention and expulsion of the former president may have infringed several constitutional guarantees in favor of the former president. Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Madam Chair.
Attorney Medina. I think Senator Cayetano has evinced his desire to
Well,
interpolate.
full disclosure then, I'm trying to be non-partisan. I ran as an independent last election, no political party. But I did vote for the president in 2016. No? So I saw the SOJ raising his hand. Would you like to give your comment now? Or I'm actually going to ask him questions on this. Then I'll ask the chair to give you time to rebut.
I would
or
like to hear your questions
Okay,
and answers.
thank you for that. So, sir, tayo ba nag-meet na rin ba tayo?
I don't think so, sir.
I don't think so. So, yeah. Yes, so. I don't mean to be rude, and I thank you for your, volunteering your opinion. Kasi nga, basically, there's so much confusion. So we're trying to get through the confusion, not only for today, but also for tomorrow, to make sure that we respect our Constitution and everyone's right is protected. So my first question, do we, in this room, do we all agree that if there's conflict between international law and our Constitution will prevail?
Yes, Your Honor, that's the doctrine of constitutional supremacy.
You agree, SOJ? No? Yeah. If there's conflict, di ba? Kasi sinabi naman sa Constitution that international law forms part of the land of the law. So if there's no conflict, wala tayong problema. Okay. So having said that, one of the fundamental or yung anchors or foundations of the Philippine Constitution, also from the U.S. Constitution, is Section 1 of the Bill of Rights, that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied equal protection of law. Agree, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So when we arrest someone, we're depriving him of liberty.
Yes, Your Honor.
When we deport someone by virtue of a warrant arrest, let's say like in the case of Congressman Mark Jimenez extradition with the U.S., we're depriving him of liberty.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So when we, I don't know, alleged lawful arrest, let me just use it that way while we're determining of former President Duterte and then putting him to a plane to Hague, we deprived him of liberty.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So the next question, was he given due process? So ang sinasabi po ng government, there are two ways, extradition or surrender.
Yes.
Okay. And tama po ba, this law that we're invoking now was passed before we ratified yung ICC?
Yes. Mhm.
This law was prior to the ICC, no? Judicial Notice. Republic Act
9851.
9851. No? I mentioned that because in the interpellation of, I think it was Senator Gordon and Senator Loren, and then meron din Senator Miriam, it was made clear doon na kailangan magpasan pa ng ibang legislation for the pag mag-a-arrest. Ayan, no? Senator Legarda, so even if the executive ratifies it and we concur on its ratification, and we pass this proposed measure that we are contemplating now, is it not enough to implement the Rome Statute? Mali lang yung records, wrong statute nakalagay. Pero mukhang tama din na wrong talaga. Pero Rome Statute dapat to. Okay. Senator Gordon, yes, it is just like the VFA all over again. It is not enough, Mr. President, because there will be a mechanism upon which we would have to surrender certain nationals who have committed war crimes or violations against covered by the statute that we have not to be met, no? So meaning, if you take judicial notice of this, while we were passing this law later on, the intent of the legislature was to pass a mechanism for surrender. You can dispute that later on, sir, and look into it. I don't think we'll finish everything naman today, di ba? Some of this we really have to also consult everyone, no? But having said that, I think the point of the senators there was, klaro kasi extradition. So sa extradition, mako-comply mo yung due process sa Section 1 because you will, tama ba ako, you will be brought before a judge.
Yes po.
They will show you the extradition notice and the other papers like the warrant of arrest, and the person being arrested can answer before the judge. Tama
Yes
po ba?
po.
Okay. So let me go to Section 2. The right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures of whatever nature and for whatever purpose shall be inviolable. No? So, i-google na lang natin inviolable, but tama ba? Basically, you cannot violate this.
Opo.
Okay. And no search warrant or warrant of arrest shall issue except upon probable cause to be determined personally by the judge and after examination under oath or affirmation of the complainant and the witness he may produce, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the person or things to be seized. Okay. Mas bata ka ba sa akin? 1970 ako pinanganak.
Matanda na po ako.
So,
Yeah.
halos magka-age tayo.
Hindi po, mas matanda po ako.
Mas matanda ka ng konti. Sorry, mas mukha kang bata sa akin. But, no, the point is, because medyo middle kaming pinanganak nun, I think mas ka-age ko si Gilbert, no? So, ang alam ko lang, by the time kasi I got to law school, 87, 97 ako graduate, 10 years na tong constitution na to eh. This was all a reaction to martial law, where they had different kinds of warrant of arrest, including yung ASO and whatever, which were all legal during that time. I'm not judging that time. I'm just saying, both under martial law, the former constitution, jurisprudence, going from the Spanish to the Japanese period, to the American period, to our independence. So in the wisdom of the Filipino people, pinasa to na except, ang alam ko lang exception, there may be one or two, but alam ko exception yung sinabi mong deportation, because when they come in, hindi na kailangan pumunta sa judge, immigration officials can deport or arrest them, di ba? Pero otherwise, hindi pwedeng si SOJ, DILG, hindi pwedeng si Secretary, no matter how brilliant Secretary Gubo is, when he's in the military can only arrest their personnel, no, under certain codes, di ba? But he cannot issue a warrant of arrest, di ba? So the safeguard of each and every Filipino sa due process is you're brought before a judge, and due process is one, yung nakalagay dito that you're informed about the nature of and the sorry, the words is in anong 12. Yan. Sa section 12, any person under investigation for the commission of offense shall have the right to be informed of his right to remain silent and have competent and independent counsel preferably of his choice. Yan po, General Torre, yung Miranda rights na binasa mo kay former President Duterte. Tama po, no? I didn't see the whole video eh. I just heard SILG said that there's a whole video, but I only saw sa internet, pero nakita ko binasahan. Okay. Pero nakalagay dito, okay. If he cannot afford, he can be given a counsel, so may question ako later on dyan. Okay, but on section 14, eto, in all criminal prosecution, the accused shall be presumed innocent until contrary is proved, and shall enjoy the right to be heard by himself and counsel, eto importante, to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation against him, and then to have a speedy trial, no? So meaning, the more you have to explain yung cause at yung nature kung foreign, because you're not familiar with their laws compared sa laws natin. So for example, in the case of Mark Jimenez, he questioned the extradition request before a Philippine judge. I googled it, nakalagay pa nga doon. Nagrereklamo siya, mas atat pa daw yung Pilipino na extradite siya kaso sa Amerikano. I don't even know it's true, no? But my question is, sir, so is it your proposition that if we surrender without an arrest from a Philippine judge, we're denying him due process? That's my words based on Section 1, but feel free to use your words.
Thank you, Senator. Yes, I agree. Basically, the principle involved here is due process. I think a lot of commentators have already pointed out the requirement of adherence to the principle of due process. So whatever it is that the government is action is taking that would deprive a person of life, liberty, or process or property, it has to go through a certain process. It's called procedural due process. If it's a crime, it's a criminal due process. It's a procedural due process requires opportunity to be heard, reasonable opportunity to be heard by and in an impartial or before an impartial tribunal.
And in criminal law, both procedural and substantial due process are essential. Not only
Yes,
important,
yes.
but are essential,
Yes.
diba?
Yes,
Because
yeah.
in let's say, other cases, kung magkamali ng konti sa procedure, it's repairable. Pero sa criminal law, na-accuse ka na mali, kambal mo pala yon, or nung pinasa yung batas na yon, hindi pa pala crime, and then you weren't informed, fatal yon. So much so, that meron ngang doctrine of the poisonous tree, di ba? That if yung evidence that were taken from you were illegally obtained, hindi pwedeng gamitin against you. Is my recollection of the law. You're a professor, so you continually review this. I don't continually review you do this, no, but I should, of course.
I agree, Senator.
Okay.
The rule is the exclusionary rule for violation of the right against
Yeah.
unreasonable searches.
I was
and
just
seizures.
emphasizing how important the procedural due process is, because my next question, sinabi mo nga reasonable time, di ba? So
reasonable opportunity po.
reasonable opportunity, which includes reasonable time, right?
Opo.
Because even if you can run to court, if you give the court 3 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, it's not for us because wala namang Supreme Court regulation or batas na nagsasabing the writ of habeas corpus has to be issued in 12 hours or 1 day or etc. Diba? So you give reasonable time. So can I just interject one question kay General Torre? So sir, when you read the Miranda rights, did you explain the nature and cause of the crime that he's being accused of?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It is on record and caught on video, sir.
Yeah, sorry about I don't know lang kasi about the record, so I'm not doubting you.
Yes, sir.
Ang napanood ko lang kasi yung standard Miranda rights that
Yes, sir.
you have. So, how did you read to him yung nature and cause? It's sa warrant or you
Yes, sir. I read it
narrate-
from the warrant, sir. It
From
was
the warrant.
extracted from the warrant by the DOJ.
So you read to him the warrant. Around
Yes, sir.
what time po yun? More or less.
Mga around before lunchtime, sir.
So nung hinuli mo pa lang, binasa nyo na sa kanya yung warrant?
When
Kasi yung nakita namin video, sir, sa airport, the wife of former ES Miguel Dia was asking nga, di ba? And Ma'am Hanilet was also asking. At sinabi nyo, I don't know what you answered, but basically hindi nyo pa pinakita yung warrant noon, di ba?
Nung yung mga video na yun, sir, gabi na yun, sir. Tapos na ang lahat na yun, sir. Paulit-ulit na lang, inuulit-ulit
No,
na lang.
what I was
sir.
saying is that ang nakita kong video, yung
Yes.
palabas pa lang sila, and you were informing him naman na meron warrant, di ba?
Palabas sa tube, sir.
Sa tube, oo.
Nung palabas sa tube, sir, when the party of the former president is going out of the tube, doon, sir, sa mismong junction ng tube at sa yung moving junction, sir, ng tube, he was already met by PG, who attempted to read him his rights.
Okay.
And they said, wag na, pababain natin ang tension, doon na lang sa 250th.
Okay, so they attempted
wing,
to
sir.
read him his right, and dala nila yung warrant noon, hindi pa?
Yes, sir. Dala na, sir.
Dala na nila?
They will not
So
go
yung
out of
issue
the
na
plane.
walang dala, that's not true kasi dala nila?
Hindi sila lalabas sa plane, sir. Yun ang kondisyon nila. Hindi kami lalabas sa plane pag wala yung warrant. And
So
it was
nandun
shown
yung
to them.
warrant. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So did you or any of the people who were serving the warrant explain to him the elements of the crime?
Yes, sir. The whole warrant was actually given to them.
So just because it's simple naman, what are the elements of the crime against humanity na may murder? If you explain to him, then you can explain to me, di ba? So what's the elements?
During the time, sir, it was not me who attempted the reading of the rights. It was the prosecutor general.
Yes, sir. But sabi mo, you know the elements of the crime.
I read to him in toto what was written
Yes.
on the warrant, sir.
I read the warrant. Wala doon yung elements of the crime.
We did not say that I know the elements, sir. I just
Yes.
read to him exactly
So-
the charges in accordance with what is written in the
Yes, sir.
warrant.
I'm not arguing on the opinion and the legal kasi ito factual pa lang. But my point is, when you arrest a Filipino citizen for theft, for inciting to sedition, etc., meron po tayong legal maxim that ignorance of the law is not an excuse thereof. So we are, as Filipino citizens, dapat alam natin yung law, di ba? So pag inarrest mo yung isang tao, ano yan, bagransya. Sandali lang, sir. Na-repeal na yung bagransya, hindi na bata, ano yan. But I'm arresting you for what? For theft. You don't need to read the elements because alam na ng Pilipino yung nature and yung cause nung theft. But since this is a foreign court, and it's not even in the Rome Statute, yung elements. It was passed later on. So ang point ko, was the accused, in this case, former president, aware of what he was being accused of? So I'll stop there, sir. Factual lang naman, and I take your answer that it was the warrant was there, it was read to him, and there are different. I won't go to them now. I'm just making the point that even if you serve the warrant, kung hindi niya alam at hindi alam ng lawyer niya, how do you expect him to run to court to get legal remedy? So going back, Attorney Alexis, sir. So, is the ability to seek legal remedy part of due process? Meaning, if you deny me, if you're accusing me of something, my warrant of arrest, and you don't allow me to go to Philippine courts, is that denying you due process?
Absolutely, Your Honor. Without casting any aspersion on the character or competence of the officials involved.
Yeah, I'm asking a general question. I think
the question
SOJ
that you
naman is
posed, yes.
listening and they will answer. So, going back to surrender. So, if my foreign court ngayon, I have it somewhere here, pasensya na kayo magulo. Senator Trillanes was saying in May 2024 na 3 batches of warrants to. First daw is si PRD, after that daw, Senator Bato, Senator Bongo, etc. And then sa third batch, military and police officials. So, I agree with Senator Bongo na wala na tayong magagawa in the sense na nandyan na si PRD. But I disagree na hindi importante itong hearing kasi kung may second, third, fourth batch pa yung warrants, it's important. And take note tama po ba ako, during the time that the Marawi uprising or the Marawi siege, Secretary Anyo, we were still under ICC noon, no? Kasi that was Tama po, di ba? When we were in Russia. So you know, if a terrorist who survived goes to the ICC and shows them pictures of 19 women or children that were died and comes up with a witness and tells them, alam nyo, from President Duterte to Sec Año to the Chief of Staff to ganito, they planned this, they killed this ganito. It may be not true, it may be totally false. So if the ICC issues a warrant here, I want to make sure that every officer of the AFP has his day in court before they're sent to Hague. So valid itong hearing na to. As I said, may emotions lang, and you know, let's excuse all of ourselves kung minsan may konting emotion, but we just want to clarify this. So yun yung context ng tanong ko, Attorney Alexis, no? So kung halimbawa may warrant for whatever for Juan de la Cruz, kinuha siya based on that warrant, pero hindi siya binigyan ng enough time or enough opportunity before a Philippine judge, aren't we denying him due process? Because pagdating dun sa foreign court, as SOJ said correctly, and I agree with him, iba language, iba procedure, and everything. So isn't a Filipino citizen, doesn't he have the right under the Constitution to be judged first by Philippine law before he's brought out to a foreign country or to an international tribunal to face what their interpretation of the law is?
If I may answer,
Yes.
Your Honor, if you look at the consistent policy of the Constitution, when there is a deprivation of liberty, the consistent policy of the Constitution is to involve the judiciary. The exclusion, complete exclusion of the judiciary in the deprivation of liberty of any citizen is anathema to the principles of the Constitution. And you can see that in the different provisions of the Constitution. You can see that in the requirements for the warrant of arrest, due process, liberty of abode, criminal proceeding, criminal due process, even in the period when the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus is suspended, the Constitution mandates the government to file charges against the person. So
last two
always,
yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah. Last
Thank
two
you po.
questions or three, then opportunity for SOJ. No? So, yung pong, nagugulat ako kasi even those who claim to be human rights activists, pinopost nila to sa Facebook. Again, hindi ko nila lahat. I admire many human rights activists, but even some na very well known, no? If I'm not mistaken, even former Senator De Lima, more or less may ganitong tema. Bakit? Si Duterte ba may alam na due process nung pinatay silang mga to? Diba? Bakit siya ngayon humihingi ng due process? So, my next question is due process only for the innocent? Only for the saints? Or even, first of all, President Duterte is presumed innocent. But assuming 5 times na convicted drug lord, rapist, torturer, etc., nahuli ng PNP, under our Constitution, dapat ba may due process pa rin siya?
Yes, Your Honor, if you look at the text of the Constitution, there are no names that are excluded from its application.
So even if a person, whether he's a private citizen or government, is accused of not giving due process, that's the beauty of the Constitution, di ba? That everyone should be given due process.
Opo.
So I just want to make that clear kasi nga, sabi ni Secretary De Lima, walang due process sa kanya. But if you go before that, nung iniimbestigahan pa lang niya si President Duterte when she was CHR and she was DOJ, wala naman siyang final na kaso. So sabi naman ni President Duterte, nung mayor pa lang siya, wala akong due process. Sinasabi na niya na guilty ako. So nung siya naman yung naging presidente, eto naman nakulong, ang sinasabi naman niyang walang due process si Duterte. So ang point ko lang, if we as Filipinos do not demand due process for everyone, DOJ and the government is not saying that they denied, but I'm just saying, no, mali yung argument sa Facebook na pag ikaw hindi mo binigyan ng due process yung kalaban, ikaw hindi ka na pwedeng kumuha ng due process. Iba po yun. Meron doctrine sa batas that those to come to court should come with clean hands. That's a different application. Anyone can come to court asking for due process, di ba? I wanted to clear that up lang, and I ask you that, Dr. Alexis, for two reasons. One, attorney, because you're a constitutional law professor. Number two, if I ask SOJ, baka ispin nung iba and they tell na meron o wala si Duterte. I'm not talking about Duterte. I'm talking about every single Filipino deserves due process. Okay. My next question is, will the Interpol, or I don't want you to make a judgment sa Interpol, no? If any foreign entity, no, comes to us and asks for an arrest, is it non-cooperation with them if we say, may provisional arrest, we have him in custody, but a Philippine judge has to decide whether or not we can turn him over to you?
If I may, Your Honor, international conventions actually respect compliance with the domestic laws. Even the Rome Statute, in the cooperation, the requirement is application of the laws of the country, of the custodial state. So it's up to the custodial state how to comply. There is no issue that we should comply with all these international obligations. That's not the dispute. The dispute is how to comply. And the manner of compliance is governed primarily, of course, by the Constitution, the highest law of the land.
And that's precisely why the diffusion notice stated provisional arrest or extradition, because, so this is the parallelism of what I want to make. If the ICC knows na pwedeng provisional arrest or pwedeng extradition, they give it sa Interpol, hindi naman magagalit ang Interpol kung nagbigay silang red notice at ang sagot mo sa Interpol, we have him under custody but we cannot release him to you unless a Philippine court so orders or unless we give him enough time to seek legal remedy. Because of course, if the person doesn't seek legal remedy, para na rin niyang sinurrender. Because the whole argument is that we're just helping Interpol. So I just wanted to clear that up. And again, ang hirap ng Facebook o media interview kasi hindi nakakasagot yung kabilang side. Eto, we can, I'll stop there, Madam Chair. So the point I want to make, and this is my personal stand, and I hope in a less emotional and more academic setting also, Mr. Secretaries, we can determine that because part of life, liberty, and ano ba yung ginamit natin? Iba kasi yung sa US, di ba? Oh, sila may pursuit of happiness. Tayo, life, liberty, and property is the peace of mind. Di ba? The peace of mind na dito at least sa bansa ko, siyempre hindi mo kontrolado kriminal. Diyan pumapasok, Sir Marbil, yung peace and order, assurance, etc. But at least alam ko, hindi ako pwedeng biglang arestuhin dito tapos i-try wherever, di ba? Pero kung in doubt yon, di ba? So for example, feel free to judge Senator Bato, but I made the same statement as the Senate President that if he's in the Senate, even if beyond 6 years yung kakasuhan sa kanya, kung hindi pa nagde-decide ang Supreme Court what constitutes surrender, etc., and he's